You're recognized. You're on.
Thank you so very much. Looks like I had a few seconds here into the sound. Thank you so very much, Mr. Chairman and the ranking member, and to Ms. Young for the time that you have spent with us today. Let me emphasize my commitment to the mindset of the president. I believe we should go big. And frankly, I believe that the president, I just got through with an appropriations committee presentation, listening to members explaining the various needs that members have in their respective districts. We're long overdue for a rebuild in our country. We cannot go small. We have to go big. And I happen to support the $2.2 trillion program that I frankly believe we should go back to. And the reason is because it is partly a rebuild of this nation that has not had this opportunity for a long period of time. So let me, first of all, raise a question to you with respect to the contentious formula for how one should pay for this. My question is, could you tell us what the corporate tax was in the pre-Trump tax era?
Ma'am, this policy would take us not all the way back to the pre-TCJA tax cut period. We'd be moving from 21 to 28% under this proposal. I believe the pre-TCJA rate was 35%, which I'm getting a lot of nods. Yes, so we're going from 21 to 28. The rate before the tax cuts was 35.
So let me put a stamp of reasonableness on that decision. A stamp of reasonableness on that decision in the light of what the 2.2 trillion would do. Build world-class transportation, make transformative investments in the renewed electric grid, ensures high-speed broadband, improve public health, deals with research and development, revitalize American manufacturing, retrofits, and then of course it was a community care. Ms. Young, was this budget put together randomly, or was your agency, OMB, able to assess the desperate need of Americans and evidenced by the collapse of the electric grid in Texas, where 100 people died, the crumbling bridges, which I've seen as Secretary of Transportation has made his tour around America? Did you all do a deep dive on the desperate needs of Americans as it relates to the putting together of this budget?
Congresswoman, these ideas aren't new. We talked and joked a little about infrastructure weeks, but these aren't new ideas. We had lots to pull from because of the long-term underinvestment here. I get the opposition to the overall issues, but there is a lot of bipartisan ideas reflected here because these ideas have percolated in Congress and various administrations for a long time.
So you had evidence thereof. Let me move quickly to the question of recognizing the increasing hate crimes, the increasing violence with guns. Is the budget in such a way that we can enhance the protection of American civil rights, that we can ensure a stronger Department of Justice to protect against gun trafficking and issues such as that? Meaning, have the agencies have the opportunity to be plussed up? Ultimately, appropriations deals with that, but plussed up on some of these very vital issues, societal issues that we are suffering in America right now.
We've talked a lot, so I won't go into detail about the community violence initiatives that are very important with regard to that. Also, in the discretionary side, the budget makes $209 million investments at DOJ that protect marginalized communities, a $33 million or 19% increase above last year with regard to civil rights enforcement.
And so I see the administration is engaged in a lot of negotiations. As I indicated earlier, I'm glad they dropped the previous one that seemed to be very narrow. The idea of bipartisanship, I understand, still is part of the mindset of our president. However, I just want to make sure that our budget continues to emphasize eliminating poverty and boosting communities that have long since suffered from lack of attention. Is that one of the policy elements of your budget at this time, along with racial equity?
Yes, including actions outside the budget, including the president signing of executive order on racial equity and equity issues writ large.